Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a really easy bow pattern. So this crochet bow works up really quick. I'm going to be using an I 5.5mm hook and some basic worsted weight yarn. You can use any color, any worsted weight that you feel comfortable with, whatever is your favorite. This bow is going to be really easy for beginners. It's going to work up pretty quickly in probably 10 or 15 minutes, even if you're brand new to crochet, and it uses some very simple stitches. So even if you're a brand new beginner, it's really easy and turns out really cute. So in this video, we're going to be just making the bow itself, but there's a lot of different things that you can do with this pattern once you've made the bow. You could attach the bow to some kind of hair clip or hair tie and use them for kids, adults, anybody, and they make a really cute accessory. You could also use them in gift wrapping. You could put them on presents or, you know, even on the tree at Christmas time if you wanted to make them in Christmas colors. Another really cute idea is stringing them along some yarn and making a garland with them. It turns out really cute, especially for like a little girl's room. There are just so many different things that you can do with this bow pattern. It's really kind of endless. So let's go ahead and get started with this crochet bow. So we're going to start with a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 9. So after you chain 9, you're going to half double crochet in the first chain from your hook, and then half double crochet in each chain all the way down. If you need any help with any of these basic stitches, I have individual tutorials for each stitch in my beginner series playlist. So that is 8 half double crochets, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn, and then do a half double crochet in each stitch all the way down, so 8 more half double crochets. And we're just going to keep going like this with a chain 1 and turn and 8 half double crochets, and keep going until we have 13 total rows of half double crochets. So 1 row of chains, 13 rows of half double crochets, and then we're going to single crochet all the way around. So we've still chained 1 after that 13th row, and then we're just going to start single crocheting all the way around our project. So just working in those ends of the rows there to make a nice, even, pretty edge. And then in each of the corners, each of the 4 corners of your little rectangle, you're going to do 2 single crochets in the same stitch, just so that we have a little bit of a rounded corner. If you just did 1 single crochet in those corners, it would kind of pull it and stretch it and make it look like more of an oval, which is not what we want. We want more of like a rounded rectangle, and you'll see what I mean once we get all the way around here with those single crochets. And once we get back around to where we started, that corner where we started, you're just going to slip stitch. So here you can see me slip stitching those single crochets closed. So see how it looks kind of like a rounded rectangle? And then we're going to trim our working yarn and finish off just pulling that yarn through. So now we're going to just weave in those 2 ends from the starting point and the ending point. So just go ahead and thread a tapestry needle. Here I'm using a Susan Bates plastic tapestry needle. These are my favorite just because they seem to have a really large eye, and it's really easy to thread the yarn through. I don't prefer the metal ones, even if they're made for yarn, just because it's harder to thread. So here we are, rectangle all finished. We're almost done. Now we're going to identify that center row and kind of pinch the center, the very center of the rectangle from the back, and then fold over above and below to kind of create a little gather there. And so that's going to be where we're going to secure the center of the bow. So just pinch it and make sure it looks exactly how you want, because we're going to secure this making a little seam. So once we get it exactly how we want, take your tapestry needle and thread it through each of those kind of 3 sections you're pulling together. Now I forgot to thread my needle, so thread your needle before inserting your needle. And I just made a knot at the end of my tail. I cut a long piece of yarn, probably about 2 feet, and just made a knot at the end. And I just sewed that piece of yarn through that little gather, making a seam, and I'm just going to sew back the other way to really lock it in place so that even if I'm not pinching it closed, it'll still stay exactly how I put it. So now it's going to stay like that, and we're just going to take that yarn out of our needle. And really all you're going to do is take the one long piece of yarn, not that tail, and wrap it around over and over and over again. And you can go as wide or as thin with this as you like, just depending on how you want your bow to look. But I just wrap it around where it covers about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter, until you have the other tail there. Get everything situated how you like, and we're just going to tie a knot. Tie these two tails in a knot to secure that down. And after you tie it in a knot, you can just weave those ends in under where you wrapped that yarn around. And now your bow is done. So once you weave those ends in, there it is weaved in. And that's kind of it. These are super easy. It took me probably 12 to 15 minutes to make this one bow. I made 5 of them in, probably an hour. So they're super quick and they're just so cute. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.